I had blamed it on my 7th grade Spanish teacher. It turns out it wasn't her, it was me.
All right, howdy friends, Super Dave Quinn here, and I'm Great Falls, Montana at the IEDC Rural Summit, and I'm here with Brett from the Great Falls Development Alliance. Brett, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Thanks. It's been a great showing of your city. Everybody's been super impressed with what you've done and how your team has really showed out for this conference. It's been fun.
It has, and we're excited that it's been kind of an unconference, so we can spend time out in all of the rural and tribal region that we work with.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting vibe and getting into sort of the heart of Montana and seeing off the beaten path, I would say. It's been pretty eye-opening and interesting. So, well, thanks for doing this. I've started a new series where I ask people the origin of getting into economic development. I'm always curious about how people ended up in our industry. So please introduce yourself, tell people who you are, give them your title and all of that, and then tell me your origin story. How did you get into economic development?
Sure. Well, my name is Brett Doney. I'm president and CEO of the Great Falls, Montana Development Alliance. We're an economic development CDFI. I've been here for almost 19 years. Before that, I ran an economic development CDFI for 12 years in Western Maine. Started my career backwards. I went to Boston for grad school and started doing consulting work and ended up with a consulting firm for a decade based out of Boston.
Okay. So you were a consultant in Boston, and then you got a job at the local EDO. How did you make that? How did you end up?
No, so I was a poli-sci major, grew up in California, and my first year in poli-sci, I wanted to go into international development.
Okay.
And I learned that I don't have an ear for languages. I can barely speak English.
You have to be international when you can barely speak.
I had blamed it on my 7th grade Spanish teacher. It turns out it wasn't her, it was me. So, my professors were like, well, if you can't pick up a lot of languages, you can't go into international. So my second year in college, I wanted to be a campaign operative.
Oh yeah, seems very sexy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And luckily we had a Capitol Hill program. I did an internship in DC, and I came back and said, nope. I love visiting DC. Don't want to be there. Don't want to be in the campaign world.
My son had a very similar experience.
I remember
one semester there, and it's like, no, thank you.
These two full-grown men high-fiving each other because the balloons at a convention didn't drop when they were supposed to because they had paid off the guys in the convention center. And I was like, okay, this isn't for me. It's like
okay. So you finished up the poli-sci, then what?
Well, so I went back, finished my bachelor's degree, and a couple of my classmates were involved in community development, and they got me excited about that. And so I went to grad school specifically to learn economic development. Or learn community economic development.
Right.
And there weren't a lot of programs, but I went to Boston, which was a great place because there were community development corporations in a lot of the neighborhoods. And Massachusetts had been one of the early states to create what they called the alphabet soup agencies. So back in the 70s, they had created a technology development group and a military base reuse group and things like that. And then in my first year in grad school, I went down to MIT and took a class in economic development finance. And this crazy professor, Belden Daniels, he was doing work out on in tribal communities on microfinance and stuff.
That's probably pioneering for the day.
And it was. I didn't realize it, though. I just thought it was normal. And he assigned class projects, and class project I did was for the Community Development Division of Bank of New England. And when that was done, they asked me to do some consulting work. And one thing led to another. So by the time I got out of school, I had work to hire somebody, and so worked in distressed urban neighborhoods, and then second and third tier cities around New England. Learned a lot, saw a lot of failed economic development projects. There was the free building syndrome. A mayor would call me up and said, "Oh, we just got a free building." I was like, "Did you take title to it yet?" And revolving loan funds that hadn't failed. Learned a lot, but the travel got to be a lot. So my wife was running community development for a town south of Boston. And we just decided that it was time to kind of settle down. So decided to stop doing consulting and went up to Maine, where a lot of traditional manufacturers were closing, and they wanted to create an economic development group up there, and so that's how I started on the nonprofit side.
Right. Well, thank you again. Thanks for stopping by and giving us a few seconds of your time. I know you must be crazy busy with everybody here and in town, and you got lots of things to do before.
Oh, my team's done great job. So yesterday was kind of fun because my role was to hang around to see if any problems arose. I actually got a lot of work done.
Yeah. Well, the folks that were on our team, we went out to Shoto. It was amazing. They did a great job leading the whole thing, and very impressed, and just with their knowledge of the region and really sort of the backstory of. I mean, it wasn't just they studied it real quick. You could tell they really kind of understood the region, and I think that's really important.
Yeah. Did you see Letterman out there?
We saw the dinosaur museum. Yes. I don't remember the gentleman's name that gave the. And then we went to the
Letterman
weather
has
beater.
A ranch out there.
No, I didn't know that.
And
no, I would have remembered that.
He looks like a mountain man now, and he's had a ranch out there for years and years. And he's very supportive of the Shoto and Augusta community.
It's awesome. People, they love the area. I love seeing that, the passion in the people, and just want to. They're just doing it because they love the place. It's hard work and it's thankless, but they're doing it. So.
Well, the one thing that really struck me when I moved from Boston up to western rural Maine is the similarities between inner city neighborhoods and rural areas. Because there's a lack of resources.
Yeah.
There's a lack of capacity. There's a disenfranchisement. Nobody pays attention to us. But the one important thing are the community leaders, unofficial, official.
Yeah.
Because if they're working together, you go into a distressed neighborhood. If there's a CDC or a CDFI or something like that, they get their act together. So we'll go around to rural communities, and some of them they're just cooking. And then you'll go to another that has more
resources, more things,
more assets. And nothing's happening.
Yeah.
So that local leadership sustained over a long period of time, that's the key competitive advantage of any area.
That was a great tip. And I think I'm going to end right there. That is awesome, Brett. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thanks for having us.